In the last week, Minecraft saw one of its largest speedrunning barriers broken, the first sub-20 time on a random seed. However, this time wasn't on a solo run. It was in an amazing 4-person co-op ran by NiceTwice, BenX, Minecravenger, and Frozen. And this run wasn't just sub-20, it was sub-19 too. It crushed this seemingly impossible barrier with a time of 18 minutes and 50 seconds. Now, I know what some of you may be thinking. Of course they got a sub-20 time, there were 4 of them. Co-op runs are a lot easier. However, in this video, I'm going to prove that this isn't always true. I will explain co-op strategies, advantages, and disadvantages. And as always, if you end up enjoying the video, please consider liking and subscribing, and if you have any questions or arguments with the points I made, feel free to leave a comment and I will answer to the best of my ability. When BenX, Minecravenger, and NiceTwice uploaded their perspectives of the runs, there was obviously a lot of support and excitement. However, there was also a fair amount of hate, of people saying that this record was fake, not very good because it was done with 4 people, or that other speedrunners could do better. I chose not to show any comments of people saying the run was cheating because there was more than one player, but there were definitely some of those too. For those of you who don't know, there are 5 official co-op or squad categories on speedrun.com. There's 2-player, 3-player, 4-player, 5 to 9-player, and 10+ player categories. As these are all official categories with separate leaderboards, co-op runs definitely aren't cheating or unfair, and are measuring different skills and strategies than 1-player runs. I'd just like to note that before I go into explaining this run, the speedrunners communicated almost exclusively in German, so I'm not sure exactly what their strategies are at any point, but I can theorize based on their points of view and solo 1.16 strategies. Their first objective on any new seed was to find a village. Then, they can make stone tools, collect food, and kill the iron golem. The food they got, along with arrows, were evenly distributed among the speedrunners, and BenX got to keep the loot from the desert temple. Only one person needed a bucket and flint and steel in order to go to the nether. Once they got to the nether, BenX found a fortress and killed blazes, while the others collected gold and traded for ender pearls. They were able to get out of the nether very quickly and found a stronghold in the ocean with an exposed portal room. In the end, they worked together to shoot down the crystal before Minecravenger killed the dragon with beds. This run was incredibly impressive, both in the luck they got with their seed and their amazing teamwork throughout the speedrun. It will be very difficult to beat this run in the future. Many of their actions throughout the speedrun displayed the largest advantage of co-op runs as opposed to single-player runs. They were able to divide the work between people, allowing them to multitask. The biggest example of this in 1.16 speedruns is the ability to look for a nether fortress while bartering with piglins. In a solo run, the speedrunner would have to do one of those things at a time, which is slower. A slightly less extreme example of this is the overworld progression at the beginning of the run. In this co-op speedrun, BenX is able to get the desert temple while his teammates collect food and iron and trade for arrows. However, in a solo run, the speedrunner would have to do all of those things by themselves, which is naturally slower. However, despite the ability to multitask during speedruns, it isn't necessarily true that larger groups will automatically be able to beat the game faster. Co-op speedruns with groups much larger than 4 ultimately suffer from diminishing returns. This means the benefit of having that many people working together is outweighed by the amount of effort and resources it takes to sustain that many people. For example, a group of 5 may be able to go slightly faster than a group of 4, but the extra person will also significantly increase the amount of food, stone, wood, and arrows necessary to complete a run. Also, at a certain point, adding more people to a speedrun won't decrease the time because not everyone would have a task to do. In a speedrun with upwards of 6 or 7 people, there isn't enough work to keep everyone occupied. This means that a group like that wouldn't go much faster than a group of 4 or 5, but they would require more resources to complete the run. Because of these major drawbacks of large squad speedruns, many co-op speedruns are done with 2 to 4 people instead of 5 or more. In addition, the more people in a speedrun, the harder it will be to communicate and strategize. All speedruns have issues along the way that will need to be figured out, and having no clear leadership while solving these problems will likely be more chaotic and difficult than if there was only 1 or a few people. This problem can definitely be minimized if a team already knows each other and works together well, but it is nearly impossible to communicate perfectly in a group, especially during a high-tension situation like a speedrun. Finally, like any other type of speedrun, co-ops have limits. It's easy to say that the best possible time for a co-op is faster than for a single-player run, but how much faster? Where can time be saved, and where can't it? As I mentioned before, the biggest time save in a co-op speedrun in any version is the ability to get blaze rods and ender pearls at the same time. Also, some time can be saved by multitasking in the overworld. It is difficult to calculate numerically how much faster a co-op speedrun can go, but I'd say that at this point in time, it is easier to get a world record in co-op than it is in solo runs, despite the similar leaderboard times. However, there are some portions of co-op speedruns that can't save any time over solo runs. The biggest example of this is travel to the stronghold. Traveling to the stronghold can't be improved by multitasking or some method of travel that isn't available in solo runs. If anything, stronghold travel may actually take longer in co-op runs because traveling by horse isn't really an option. This is because finding enough saddles for the whole group is fairly unlikely, and taming more than one horse will take a while. It is theoretically possible to send one person ahead to the stronghold, but that wouldn't allow for a time save by working together in the end. In addition, according to speedrun.com, the administrator of the server on which the co-ops are done must provide video evidence of the speedrun, and the video evidence must show someone entering the exit-end portal. Therefore, if the group were to split up before the end fight, it would have to be the owner of the server going into the end, not anyone else. Long story short, splitting up for the end fight isn't really a viable strategy. In conclusion, co-op runs can save a fairly significant amount of time over solo runs using multitasking and solid teamwork. However, co-op speedruns with really large groups, usually upwards of 6 or 7 people, face challenges that balance out the positive effects of having that many people. Finally, while there are many time saves in co-op runs, there are also portions of the run that can't really go faster in co-op than in solo, mainly the travel to the stronghold. Co-op runs are really cool. They combine the fulfilling Minecraft speedrunning experience with the classic charm of multiplayer. And at the end of the day, the only thing better than sharing a Minecraft world with your friends is sharing a Minecraft world record with them, especially when it's the first sub-20 time. And, as always, if you have any questions, comments, or concerns about the video, please let me know in the comment section. I hope you have a nice day.